So I'm going to give you the most important piece of dating advice you're probably ever going to hear, and that you've probably hardly ever heard about or even considered. And this piece of advice, it's not easy. It's difficult. It's a difficult concept to master. But if you do it, you lay the foundations, a great foundation for being able to make the best decision of who you're going to choose to be with. Right? So the biggest issue I see with relationships, failed relationships, is they choose the wrong person. They choose someone that's not good for them. Even if it lasts a fair amount of time, they get married, but they get divorced, and then the divorce is messy and crazy, and maybe they have kids, and and one side is not allowed to see the kids, and it just ends up messy. And it fundamentally comes from a position of choosing the wrong person, choosing someone that wasn't really right. So my advice is not choose the right person, right? It's not that. You have to build off of this base that I'm going to give you. It gives you the best chance to choose the right person. Now, is it bulletproof? Is this going to guarantee success, that you'll definitely find the right person for you and you'll all be happy and live happily ever after? No, there is no magic bullet. There is no 100% piece of advice here, but it's the best that I can give you. It'll give you the best chance, and it's something that I practiced myself, and that allowed me to then meet a woman who, if quite frankly, I think is amazing, and I've been happily married now for many years. So like I said, this advice is not easy, and the advice is you have to, if you're single, before you get with someone, in fact, it's even relative when you're with someone, actually, that you have to come to terms with the fact and be okay with this fact that you might never meet someone and that you might be single forever. Let me just say that again. You have to become okay with the idea that you might be single your whole life and that you might never meet someone. And so you have to be completely content and satisfied with being on your own. You see, the biggest reason why people make the decision to be with someone that's not good for them and they settle and doesn't ultimately make them happy in the long run is because they're so desperate to meet someone. And then that desperation comes from a fear of being alone. And so the first person that tickles their fancy, they go for. And they might know that they're not completely right for them. They might see the red flags, but ignore them here and there because, this person's come around at this point in their life, and you know what they're going to do? Because I'd rather be with this person than be alone. But the thing is, when you can really, truly accept that you might be alone and you'll be content with that, you'll be fine with that notion because you enjoy your own company. When you do that, you understand that it's much better to be alone than be with someone that you're not happy with, and being with someone you're wishing that you were alone. So that it's a very powerful thing. Now, I'm not advocating a life of solitude here. Far from it. We're social creatures. We're social people, and I still advocate you go and date and you look for your relationships and you make friendships and connections and communities, of course. I'm not advocating you to go off and be a lone wolf. No, definitely not. But you have to try your best to be fully content with living a life being single, and whatever that involves. And there's a few steps you can take to do this, and this has helped me massively. So daily or regular meditation and visualization. Okay, so you're meditating and visualizing on being alone forever, that you'll never meet someone, and you're not going to meet the right person, and you're okay with it. You're okay with being alone. You enjoy your own time. You want your peace. You'd rather be alone than be with someone that drains your soul and so on. And you meditate and you sit on that on a regular basis. Another step is you live alone. So for me, for example, I was living at home with my parents, well, with my mum, when I was 23, and then I up and left and came to move to Cyprus all by myself. So I went the extreme route. You don't have to do that, but at least go live by yourself for a while, in your own apartment, your own place, have your own space, fend for yourself, enjoy your own company, enjoy that peace. And the last step, I would say, is, I had one more step. What am I thinking? What's my last step? So enjoy your peace. One more step. I can't remember the last step. It's going to come to me in a minute. Trust me, it's going to come to me. So I would practice those things, because trust me, guys, there's a lot of lonely people out there. I understand that. I get that. And I'm not advocating loneliness here, but there's a lot of people that are with someone they're not happy with, they're with the wrong person, and they're too scared to leave, and that they wish that they were alone. So if you are alone, if you do have that peace, understand there's a lot of people that wish they were in your position. And if you can wrap your head around this and get to a stage where you're completely comfortable being alone, then again, when you meet somebody, that somebody has to be very special to break that. If that someone comes along, then you know, okay, this person's great. I'm sure in this, because I'm not desperate. I'm not coming from a place of desperation. Not even a little bit of desperation, because I've seen so many people, even just a little bit desperate, a little bit fearful of being alone, they make a bad decision. And of course, not every desperate person, someone who's desperate to find someone, makes a bad decision. I'm saying there's a hell of a lot. And so when you're completely okay with being alone, and completely okay with being alone forever, when that person comes along, you're just going to know it. And you're going to feel very comfortable and very confident in your choice. Because you don't need that person in your life. You just want that person in your life. And the last step, I just remembered it now, the last step, if you can, travel by yourself. Go on some solo travels abroad or in your own country, travel around, book some hotels and so on. Those sort of 3 steps are going to massively help you in curating a life where you enjoy being by yourself and taking responsibility for yourself, and you trust that you could pretty much always be okay with that for maybe the rest of your days. Because not everyone meets someone, man. Not everyone meets someone, and certainly not everyone meets someone that makes them happy in the long run. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. If you're new, like and subscribe. That'd be amazing. This gets this message out to more men out there, more people who need it. And join me for the next video.